I mean, like, remember New Year's? Like 10, 9, 8, like, it's like a whole quarter of 2018 is in the books, right? And so now, I think this morning I want to talk a little bit about goals, but setting the goals up for April, but really thinking of your goals as April, May, June, right? Because now we're in the second quarter, and what's the second quarter going to look like? Is it going to be better than the first quarter? And all the distractions that we had in the first quarter, obviously with the holidays and everything in the beginning part. And now, we're really getting into the best time of year to really, people are I just think it's a good time. With taxes, money's on everybody's mind. And I think we have a critical window this month to have a great month. When I look at, most businesses, you look at your historical numbers in these months, March and April and May are always very, very good months for our organization. I think so I really, as you come into this month, I really want you thinking about your goals, thinking about, what you want to do. I want to talk a little bit more about that here in a minute. We're going to have a few things. I want to apologize to you. I don't know what happened. If you're here for Nationwide, you're going to be disappointed because I don't know where the guy is. I can't find him this morning. So I'm sorry, but we got a good training planned anyways. Nationwide person is MIA. I've been calling him, texting him. We had this morning down, so maybe he's ill, or maybe we got our wires crossed. But we'll have him jump on very soon. I think most of you are familiar with the product in some capacity, and we will talk about it more. But again, I don't know if he gets in touch with me in the next little bit. We'll be happy to pencil him in here and get him into the front for the training. What I want to talk about a few things this morning that I think are important, and one of those things, and I'm a big proponent of talking a lot about, is the Heartland. The Heartland Institute, I know a lot of you guys know about it, is a who's using Heartland right now in some capacity? Okay, and I know on this Monday morning group, we've been talking a lot about trying to create a position outside of the college planning program where we could kind of go into companies and to talk as an education coordinator or some type of a coordinator. And we are steadfastly working on that and trying to get that issue resolved. Right now, look, at the end of the day, there's probably no one that gets as frustrated with the home office as I do. But you always have to step back when you're frustrated and think, why are they the way they are? Well, they're a big corporation. They're worth hundreds of billions of dollars. Okay? Their concern is this. What was your first name?
Madhu.
Madhu gets excited with her business card, and she goes to AT&T, and she's a good lady. She would never do this. But Madhu starts saying crazy stuff. You guys know any people that say crazy stuff? Mm-hmm. She says like, hey, we'll come in and we'll take over your 401k plan. She'll just start. And AT&T, if they get mad, they're not going to sue Madhu. I don't know what her net worth is, but I'm just going to guess it's not hundreds of billions of dollars. Okay, that's going to be my guess. The rest she wouldn't be here on a Monday morning. So when they look at the Heartland card, they're not looking at a nonprofit. They're trying to figure out who's behind that. Right. Well, when she starts talking about investments, she's not representing Heartland. Now she's representing herself as an agent on the other side. So now the liability, when they sue, they're going to sue Transamerica. They ain't going to sue Heartland. They're not going to sue Madhu. They're going to sue Transamerica. So everything they do, they look at it through that lens. And that's the challenge because, unfortunately, we're a high-volume organization, and being a high-volume organization, we attract some yahoos, You would be shocked at some of the stuff that people say to people. I mean, they just lie. I mean, just flat out just make up stuff about Heartland that isn't even true. Just something So, they're being reserved, and I'm mad about it, but at the same time I want to just say, wait a second. Have we not been getting into companies for the last 5 years without the position? Yes. But the answer is yes. I didn't have the position. I just opened my mouth and talked to somebody, and we got into a company, right? And lately we have been getting into more companies and we are having success, but I feel like maybe some of us have just put it on the back burner waiting for this position to come out when you don't need the position. The position is nice, the card is nice, but you don't need the position to be able to get into an organization or a company. What you need to do is to be talking to more people about what we offer and just not trying to hold yourself out as an expert, right? So anyways, I just want to take a few minutes on that. I know Patrick has recently done a few classes. He's gotten in a couple of new organizations recently. I know he's talked about it a million times, but I think out of sight, out of mind if we don't talk about things, you know? And so I just asked him, and just maybe he could share some of his recent successes, some of the things that he's doing right now that's helping him. I know Robert just got into a big steel company. Is it scrap metal? Did I say that right? I don't know if that's not steel. Scrap company with over 300 employees they just got into. So I want you to know the strategy works. It's just a matter of how you present it to people. You know, the key is I recently went through some health challenges. They're over with now, thank God. I feel best I have in a long time. But every time I would go to the doctor, they didn't know what was wrong. They would send me to another specialist, which, you know, those guys, what they charge, right? I mean, their visits are insane, right? $350 for a 10-minute visit. Those are my favorite. And so here's a doctor. My point is this. Who went to medical school, is a PhD, and they're not afraid to tell you that they don't know what's going on. I want to refer you to my expert friend. And I had that happen to me in the course of a year, like 10 different times. Why are we so prideful sometimes that we have to be the person, that we just can't say, look, there's an expert that can help you with this. That's all you really got to get good at telling the story. Now, granted, we got that business card. I think that card is more for like recruiting new people, like who we haven't gotten in yet, who would need that card as some validation. But for us that are already here, don't get me wrong, I still want you to have it, but I think it's less important than being able to say, I've got a specialist that just knows this stuff. They're a guru. This is what they do. I'm affiliated with a specialist. Just like the doctor, Amy was there. Many of the doctors said, Mr. Gurrieri, we have no idea what's wrong with you. You're going to have to go to this specialist. And I'm like, well, you're a doctor and you don't know. And you hear that from 5 doctors, you start thinking you might have something seriously wrong with you, right? But the point is nobody's afraid of that. We can't be afraid of that. And I think that's why these analogies are so very important. Because I challenge you that it's not even the card. It has nothing to do with the card.
Right.
You're afraid to talk to people because you're afraid of what they're going to think about you or that you might fail. So it's easier to say, I need to get my coordinator card before I can talk to anybody, because that allows you to have the excuse of not talking to anybody and really attacking your fear, which is really what's driving you. The real truth is the fear. And by the way, that's just normal. I'm not trying to pick on you, but that's the truth. That's what we do as people. Oh, man, Angelo, I'm ready, man. Next month, 10 new members. I just need to do this first. Oh, I'm ready, but right after that. There's always something, right?
Right.
Is it true?
Right.
Okay. It's something called procrastination, right? So we'll talk about that in a minute. So, Pat, just wanted you to share. I mean, I'm not looking for a big formal training, just a little bit about some of the things you've been doing with the grant program.